What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do our makeup while we talk about fall fashion trends that I'm invested in and you should be too. Because this fall she is not shy, she is confident, she is serving, and she's almost here, so we really need to lock down what we should be buying for the fall. To start off, we're going to do skin prep, so just some toner, moisturizer, stuff like that. While we do this, I really think Henley's, like, think Elena Gilbert-esque with a couple little buttons at the top. I think they're going to be so in trend this fall. They're so versatile because they can go under jackets, they can go with comfy fits, they can go with jeans. It's just, I think it's almost going to be equivalent to like the Skims top that everyone was wearing with everything last year. Because it's just a good basic, but I think the buttons make it just a little bit more elevated for the fall. This is a little side note, but for the girlies out there that struggle with acne, I am one of them, obviously. I've tried like so many products out there, but recently I just started using this brand that is basically based on botanicals and stuff instead of chemicals, and I kid you not, I haven't even been using it for a whole week and my face is calmed down so much. Like, I don't have any pimples like coming out right now. These are all just ones that are like going away, and I literally only bought the cleanser and the toner from them and like chef's kiss. This is the brand. I don't even think you can see it. I'll pop it up on the screen. But anyway, next step number 2, we're gonna do our base. I'm gonna do just a light little base because it's summer and it's very hot where I live. So we're just gonna do some Lumi Glotion drops. But while I do this, I want to talk about the color Chocolate Brown. It's so, actually we're gonna talk about multiple colors. Chocolate Brown and Cherry Red, I think, are going to be like the themes of this fall. We've seen cherries during the summertime, so, and red is always a color that pops up in the fall, but usually it tends to be more of like a burgundy red, but I'm thinking this fall is going to be very cherry. And then Chocolate Brown is just so perfect. I think sweat sets of Chocolate Brown specifically are going to go crazy, and then jackets and like going out tops. I don't know if you guys have seen those, like, I'll pop up like pictures on the screen, like the asymmetry tops in Chocolate Brown. I think a lot of those are going to go crazy. I think just cherry and Chocolate Brown are going to be like really big colors that we see popping up in a lot of different stores. So I think those we'll have to lean into those for this fall fashion. Next up, we're going to do contour before we do our concealer using Say, and I want to talk about jewel tones. So I feel like I've seen turquoise, ruby, and then like metallic-y colors like silver gold are really going to be popping, which is crazy because I just got these nails done. Can you even see them? And they're basically like almost like a ruby burgundy red with gold detailing. And then while I was like looking up trends to do this video, it was like jewel tones, and I was like, wait, I'm so into this. I think a big thing about jewel tones is they go with almost everyone's skin like tone. So I think it'll be a really big popular thing because everyone will look good in it. Some colors don't look good on everyone, so I think it's harder to get everyone to participate in certain trends like that. Where jewel tones, if it works for everyone, I think it'll be more popular that way. And it's easier to incorporate in things like your nails, your bags, your shoes, because it's way more, it's way easier for us to justify buying a bag that's ruby red versus like whole parts of outfits that are ruby red, because that can still be contributing to our capsule wardrobe instead of buying pieces that we might wear this fall and never again, if that makes sense. Okay, next up, we're doing concealer, and we're going to talk about silky scarves. I feel like we've already seen a big increase in the silky scarves of people like putting them on their purses or like wearing them as belts. They've just been having a comeback. I think we're going to see more of that, more of the belts, the hair. A lot of people are wearing them in their hair, and I feel like that's going to continue into the fall, especially when people are wearing jackets and things of that sort. I think it will be very easy for that to just be an accessory that's added that makes your fit look so much more put together and so much more effortlessly chic than the amount of effort that you actually put into it. Okay, next up we're going to do blush. I'm using the Flower Nose Strawberry Cupid in the shade SO6 Rosy Madeleine, and we are going to talk about slouchy bags. So the first time I saw this, I was like, what the actual heck is a slouchy bag? Because that just sounds so like off-putting in my opinion. But a big brand that has been doing this recently, I would say, is Coach. I'll pop up some pictures of slouchy bags over here, but basically the idea is that it's not a structured like hard bag. It is more like a sack, if that makes sense, but it's just looser and it has more like movement to it, which can add some dimension to your outfits, which I think is super fun. I think we've honestly been seeing them becoming more popular since the spring. I saw a lot of girls at my college had bags like this towards the end of spring semester, so I think it will carry on into the fall, because during the summer we see a lot of that wicker moment come through, where that's going to start going away because it's no longer summer. So you know the vibes. Next up we are going to do highlighter, and I'm going to use this one from Trustique. I like stick highlighters. I feel like they do a better job of getting the specific spots that I want. But we're going to talk about animal prints. Animal prints have been really popular since last year with our whole cheetah moment, obviously. They're really good to make a statement, I think, and honestly, if you can do it right, layering them can look really, really good. And I don't think just animal prints, but like kind of patterns in general. I think we've seen a lot of like mesh tops with, well, again, I'll pop up pictures, but like colorways almost. I think those are going to become really popular in the fall because the colors in those prints are usually browns, reds, greens, those colors that we usually see pop up in the fall. So I think they're going to have a reemergence of popularity, and honestly, I'm here for it. Next up, we are going to do a little bit like of eyeliner and mascara, and we're going to talk about mini shorts. That's right, shorts. Mini shorts in fall. So while you might think like, Heather, you're crazy, mini shorts is such a summer trend, I think they're here to stay, honestly. I think mini shorts are becoming the new mini skirt. And totally just stabbed myself in the eyeball. Back to what I was saying. Picture this. You have a big oversized sweater, like imagine big white sweater, mock turtleneck, little black leather shorts so that they're barely peeking out under the sweater, and then black leather boots, a purse, maybe you even put a scarf in there, right? I think they're just gonna be such a moment. There's also been so many different variations of the mini shorts that have been popping up. I'll pop them all up here, but like there's ruffled, there's the leather, there's sequins. I think they're making them so versatile so that you can use them with so many different outfits, which is why part of me thinks that they're here to stay, at least for the fall, because they're giving us so many options. There's cargo mini shorts, there's sweat shorts but like mini shorts. There's mini shorts that look like skirts. There's just so many different ways that you can take it that I honestly think them in the fall are going to just like have a moment, because you can even put tights under them and I think they'll just really be popping, and just I think they're here to stay. Last but not least, we're gonna do lips before setting spray. So maxi coats. Thomas Burberry knew what he was doing. Let me just put that out there. I know that he invented the trench coat for more practical reasons, for like the army and all of that, but I think maxi coats are really gonna have a moment. I think they add this layer of chicness and sophisticatedness to an outfit. I think the whole puffer North Face vibe has just been beat into the ground at this point. It also just screams kid to me, I guess. So that and like the faux fur jackets, them and trench coats, I think are both going to be really popular outerwear this fall and winter, because they just give off a more sophisticated, older vibe, and I feel like that's just the way that we've been heading with the conservative dressing and the almost business form, like business casual wear that's been really popular. I think that this is just going to continue on with outerwear, with the trench coats and these fur coats and things like that. I'm just putting a gloss on top of my liner. And then last but not least, we are going to set our face with setting spray, and I think I'm just going to end it with basically saying that I think fall is a fun time to play with textures. There's suede, there's fur, there's leather, there's like the knit. There's just so many different textures to play with that I think it makes your outfits more multi-dimensional. So I think that a lot of those textures will come through, specifically like suede. I think it's gonna have a little bit of a comeback this year. I've been seeing a lot of suede jackets, which honestly, like, I'm kind of into. I don't know, it's we'll see how it goes, but I think that playing with those will be really big. Even silk, like I was talking about, silk scarves. I think playing with the different textures of outfits and clothing pieces will be really big. So I think finding a way to balance those types of things in your outfits, or like, it doesn't even have to be a loud color, it can just be like a loud texture instead. I think a lot of that will be popular. Alright, so glam is done. Fashion knowledge is fully downloaded into our brains for the fall season, and I hope you guys had so much fun with me while we did our makeup and chatted about the fall fashion trends. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe and like it, and follow me on Instagram if you want to participate in choosing what kind of videos I put out next. If you're building your fall wardrobe and you need some help picking out pieces that actually kind of fit the vibe that we were just talking about, check out my ShopMy below. I linked a lot of pieces like the ones that we were just talking about, chocolate brown, cherry red, different textures. It's my wish list, so I love to be trendy, in the know, etc. So a lot of it falls in line with all of that, and you can think of it as like your little fall fashion cheat sheet for this little season. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.